Okay, here we are back on the machine. Now these are the clamps that came with the welding table. This piece here goes into one of those holes and you put the nut in from the back side. It's got a step on it so it catches on the top side, and then you can use the clamp to clamp something, which is what I did here. And I folded this paper back. It's a protective film they put on there, one of those oily some kind of it's not a plastic, it's a paper. It's got oil on it. But anyway, I got some counterbalance on here. I got a plate and a block and a couple blocks, and because I got this on that a piece of wood. Actually, it's a square piece of wood, and I don't want it flipping over. So this is what it looks like. So let me explain to you what I did here. Okay, this center piece here, I bolted it through, and it's got a washer on the inside of this hole to center it, and there's a washer on the outside. Then there's a disc on the inside that fits through the 5/16 bolt, has a clearance hole in the center. Then the outside of the washer is the inside of the pipe, so it centers the pipe. So that made it easy. So what I did was I bolted this piece on first, and then I used the a rod, actually this rod, so I made it parallel with the table. Then I put the 90-degree plate on there. Then I put this piece on, the long piece. So now the tube is fastened to the 90-degree plate, and it's centered on the bottom. So I took a square, actually this one, and I had it over here, and I use these two 1, 2, 3 blocks that are over here. Had that spaced up because of the thickness of this. And then I got it square on this side. And it's square with the plate. So then what I did was to make sure that the tube is square with the bottom piece or parallel with the front of the table, I took this round tube and I laid it back here, and I got these 1, 2, 3 blocks so I could check out the hole here to see how much it went into that hole there, and the same thing on the other side. I can slide this over. So I'm just visually looking to see how much of this block is into that hole. And that's an alignment I'm using to make sure that this is parallel with this surface, which is parallel with this and that. And it's 90-degree. I got 1, 2, 3 blocks under it. And then I added this piece, one of the corner well, the side pieces. And I put this down and centered it this way. This is centered in the hole with the bushing, but the pipe, I couldn't put a disc in it because it's oblong. When you turn it on an angle, it's oblong. So I just measured from one side to the other side to kind of put it in the middle. So that's where it's going to be. And then the back of it is clamped against the 90-degree plate, so I know it's on the same plane as this square tube in front. And the only issue I'm going to have is this piece up here. Now you see how that's on an angle there. In order for me to get that, well, the way it should be, you'd have to put a cut. I have to put a cut on this part parallel with this cut to make it perfect. But it's really not necessary because I'm going to have some plates made, and they're going to cover this surface, and the one that's going to go on the other side. I can't put the one on this side because of this clamp. So I gotta do this one side and then take this clamp off, and then I can do the one on the other side. So that's where we are. Yeah, I don't really care for this too much, but I was using the saw, and I didn't want to spend all day sawing these parts. I was mostly interested in making sure that this angle on the bottom is close. So the spacing from here to here is going to be the exact same one over here. So it'll be in this block and then come up that way. And theoretically, they should both about be even. So we'll see how that goes. So these are the little spacers that go in the hole. And this is the washer that goes underneath. So I put the washer on first, then I put the spacer. And then I put it through the table and then put the block on top, and this washer is thinner than the table, so the washer here contacts the bottom of the plate, and the top of the plate is contacted on the top, and the washer is just to keep this bolt centered in the hole, so everything is centered in the hole. So after welding, if it does move a little bit, at least I have a 5/8 hole with a 3/16 diameter bolt or screw that goes through there, so there should be plenty of room in case it moves, because when you weld it, it's going to move. There's no doubt about it. So it should be okay. All right. We'll see what we can do later. Okay, here we are. Got this tacked up. Got this other leg on over here. Had these two on first. Then we put this one on. And we still had that 90-degree plate back there. And then we just put this leg in the back. Yeah, these plates get pretty hot. The bushings I made for in there, I think they're pretty much melted. But anyway, that's what it's going to look like. I'm not sure if I should make a support at the top. I probably have to think about something about that, but there's plenty of meat down there at the bottom to hold that thing in place. And this welding table, man, that thing worked great. I laid everything out on that, and like I said, put the bushings in the hole, and everything lines up, so when I take this off and finish welding it, it should line up in those holes. Hopefully. Nah, it will. It will. It'll be all right. All right.